Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker. Greatest screenwriter in the history of the world, recovering hobo. Alright, what am I doing here? Doing a lot of stuff. My roommate walked by, so I didn't want to put him on camera if he came by the kitchen. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm going to double scoop the protein powder. Why not? Usually I only have one with breakfast. Why the F not? And I got papaya. Crema de cacahuates, and wheat germ. I'm gonna add that in. How's it going, everybody? Moist Andy, what's up? I need to decontaminate all of the Ebola out of my carpet. Might have to hire someone for that. Or I think you can rent a, well, not I think, I know, because I rented it in Annandale. Although I rented it from Arlington, a shampoo, like a carpet shampooer, and you can just rent it and bring it back to your apartment, condo. Alright, gonna make my papaya breakfast. I was hungry. I ate some papaya last night, some of it last night, even though I was saving it for today. Come on. Hey, Moist Andy, I got the whey protein you recommended. Does the master approve? Put 10 grams of wheat germ. See how much nutrition it is. Pasas, basins. It mixes better than GNC brand. I don't know what you're mixing it with, Moist Andy. This does not mix well with like the water in my breakfast. I'm sure it mixes, I don't know, whatever. But me, the pea protein powder one mixes better. But the pea protein powder has a lot more carbs and fats. Not really a lot, but a few grams. So I don't know. For me, it's a lot. What's up, Enobaso? Do you like movies with historical narratives? Yep, absolutely. I like them all. I'll say a lot of movies that, try for that probably aren't the best quality, but that's true of every genre, every category. But yeah, absolutely. I love good historical drama. And it depends what you count as history. To me, like Born on the 4th of July is based on real guys. That historical? Well, it's biographical. But I need to drink. I am so thirsty. Dango said. I rode my bike for like 2 hours yesterday, and I was so tired I fell asleep like 3 hours afterwards on the couch behind me, because I barely slept the night before. Gonna make my apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. Cut open a fresh lemon. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Cool, thanks, Enobaso. I posted one for my friend Alex Proyas. Check out that campaign. I linked it in the description of this video, and share it. His campaign to fund his new short horror film, Dark Sister. Support him. He's been a great support to me and my mom over the years. So even if you just support just by looking at it and checking it out, giving it a play, play the video. And Alex was super nice about me making the video. Shout out to him. He said Angelo is my inspiration, and he was thankful and humbled that I've been a passionate supporter of his over the years, and now he's glad we're collaborating together. Also, I got some sourdough bread yesterday. That stuff's awesome. I'm addicted to sourdough bread, guys. Perfect, 16 grams, 16 gramos. Oh yeah, I don't want to put all this in, mix it all up yet. I want to put in my spices and herbs. But thank you, Enobaso, for bringing that up. I really want to support my friend Alex's campaign to fund his film. I donated to it. You can also, in that video, I noticed I do say a lot. Let me turn this around. roommate just left for work. The coast is clear. But yeah, thank you for that. Hey, FOT fans, how are you? But yeah, I posted a clip just to support Alex's campaign. I posted a clip from his Indiegogo video, and you can check it out, the full video, in the description of this video, this live stream. Sorry, I keep saying and I realize I really want to correct that, because I was cutting it out so much when I was editing my video about Alex's film. So check out the link in the description. It's got a video where Alex talks about the film he's making, why he wants to make it, what it's about, all that stuff. It's a fundraiser. It's got 6 days left to go. He's got quite a ways to go, and I would appreciate it if you would help my friend, who's helped me so much, with his support and with his imagination and dreams and the films he's made, which have driven me to where I am. Just check out the Indiegogo campaign and share it if you feel compelled, but just watch the video and see if you find it inspiring, as I did. Just ask yourself, what's Angelo see in this? What's it all about? And you may find something inspiring or intriguing about it. Beyond that, you may find a reason to share it with someone else, like, check this out, this is what Angelo's into, and this is a project to fund a film from sorry, I keep saying and I'm trying to think of the word, but an extremely talented, like talented doesn't cover it, a genius filmmaker, and an extremely supportive and generous person, Alex Proyas, who I just can't believe, like, of all the filmmakers that I love, he's the one who's made himself accessible to us fans over the years. Papaya. How much do I have here? Only 280 grams? That's not good, man. It's probably like around 28, 25 grams of carbohydratos in that. I try and have a little more, but that's okay. I'll eat more later. Glad of you to stop by. Glad you could come by, whatever the phrase is. I really should do some kind of speaking training, just to speak better without saying and learn how to connect my thoughts better. That'd be good. It would make editing my videos easier when I do edit them. I read more of Sherlock Holmes yesterday. I finished my writing class, the most recent one, and now I have a month off till the next one, and I really want to keep training because I didn't do as strongly as I wanted in that class. And I'm like, was I getting complacent? What was going on? Why didn't I do as well as in the other classes that I did? And I really think I was getting complacent. Like, I'm just being in class for class's sake, and it's just going to be a pleasant experience where I get to see people, and it's like, I kind of lost sight of the fact that this is with the goal in mind of writing my own screenplays, which is going to be enormously complex and challenging each time I do it. And no one's going to be as helpful and considerate as my teachers when I'm actually trying to make them. They're not going to be trying to uncover what the problems are with it. They're going to be like, well, this doesn't work, or I don't understand this, whatever. Why are my shirts always like this? I swear they always end up like that. How do I, thank you, FOT fans. Yes, and click like on the video. How do I rate Robert Greene as a writer? I'm not familiar with him. Maybe I've seen his movies. If he's a novelist or a book writer, I haven't read his books. I'll ask the unforgiven question. What does he write? Letters? Does he write numbers? I rode my bike damn hard yesterday, but then I pigged out on walnuts at the farmer's market. I got glazed walnuts, 3/4 of a pound. I ate the entire thing at the farmer's market. Oh my goodness, it was too much. He writes motivational books. Oh, okay. So no, I haven't read his books. I was at a bookstore on Saturday, but I didn't really see the book I wanted. This one specific book on screenwriting, Anatomy of Genre by John Truby. I saw a book about Martin Scorsese I really want to get called like My Journey or something. Scorsese, My Journey, whatever. About, you know, his life is film. His life is film. His life in film. But I decided I'll get that later because I don't even have time to read everything I want now. I'm still getting through my Sherlock Holmes stories. I'm finally at the last one, the case, the Hounds of the Baskervilles. But then there's a volume 2 because I'm going through the complete Sherlock Holmes volume 1. And I have some other books I want to read too. I got too many art books. I bought art books to uh, to do research for a screenplay that I'm writing, and I realized I spent $200 on art books, and I haven't even read any of them or touched them because I don't have time. And it's not really going to be all that relevant to my screenplay. Just reading regular stories would be helpful, but I still want to read them anyways to see what I learn. I'm sure there will be helpful things I learn, maybe for other screenplays, if not the one I bought them for. No, I've never read 48 Laws of Power. I think I've heard that's something a lot of prisoners read. It sounds like kind of a mindset motivational book as well. I slept so little Saturday night, like 3 hours. I had so much energy, I couldn't sleep. Cutting that video for Alex, I was so excited. And then I rode my bike like 2 hours Sunday morning. Got home, I was reading more Sherlock Holmes, starting to fall asleep as I was reading the Greek Interpreter, uh, and finally just fell asleep for like 3 hours on the couch behind me. This papaya is refreshing. It's going to rain real hard here on Tuesday, tomorrow. That's not going to be fun. But still going to ride my bike to work. I was wearing my poncho and my boots. But the Lord knows we need the rain, even though I feel horrible every time I think about that because people living on the street, it's like torture for them to have to be out in the rain. It was inconvenient for me when I was living in my car, but I didn't mind it in a way. I enjoyed it. in a lot of ways because it was like security for me. First of all, I loved the sound of it beating down on my car. But second of all, I was protected from it basically, even though it got everything wet in my car. It was disgusting. And on the outside of my sleeping bag. But it was nice because for me, it meant like I know people are much less likely to want to approach my car when it's raining heavily. Because it was, you know, it was dangerous. Sometimes people they would sometimes come up to my car. Oops, I said Didn't happen that often, but I never wanted it to happen. One guy, he was obviously high and trying to talk his way into getting in my car to rob me or something. I filmed a little bit of that. I was so pissed off. He knocked on my window when I had the cardboard up in it. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for my homie." I'm like, "Get out of here, whatever." I'm like, "Just leave me alone." I was so pissed off, but I didn't want to just threaten him, even though I wanted to say something, threaten him like, "Oh, is it worth something happening to you to get him?" But I didn't want to do that in case he had a weapon or was going to be provoked by that. But what a jackass. Just a horrible person. Just found someone he probably wanted to come in and rob me. Another guy just threatened me because he was arguing. His dumbass and his friends were arguing in a parking lot, and I opened my door to pour out some bottle of piss that I had, and I looked over as he was arguing, and then he came over right up to my door, and he's like, "Are you looking at my shit?" And I honked my horn a few times, pulled up my glove box, grabbed my self-defense tool, but I kind of hid it because I didn't want him to think he had no choice but to fight me. I'm like, "I'm giving you a choice, even though I'm badly outnumbered here." And I didn't want him to make him think I had a firearm or something. Like I didn't, just a little self-defense tool. But I stood there, we were looking at each other. I was holding this thing next to me. He sees I'm holding something and he walked away. But it's funny, I did shit in a bag in my car. I had it double tied up and then tied up in another bag and in a grocery bag. And I mean, in a trash bag after that. If I could have opened it, I would have been like, "No, I'm looking at my shit." And I would have just held the bag of shit for him. Somebody clip that. I'll clip that and put it up as a short. I got to remember to do that. No, it's so messy. So it can be kind of dangerous living in your car, and definitely dangerous living on the street. And we got to house people. We got to get them housed. And give everyone bikes. I was so excited yesterday biking along this residential neighborhood around here, seeing people walk in the middle of the street and, ride their scooters and their bikes. Part of me was like, "Oh, that's kind of annoying. They're in the street." But then I'm like, no, I'm glad. The people should take over the streets. I was so glad to see them out. I'm like, we should have everybody step out onto the street, get the cars off the street. Cars are dangerous. They pollute. They maim and kill. They cannot be reasoned with. Or negotiated with. And I did not negotiate with terrorists. Also, should I take Fridays off my job? I don't know. I'm thinking I should to focus on my writing. I'm gonna have to. I think. I mean, I barely have enough time to do everything I need. I'm finally gonna get my taxes done. I thought it was gonna take so long. This is how dumb I was. I'm like, oh, it's actually gonna take like 15 minutes to submit everything for my taxes. I already organized most of what I need last night, and it took like 5 minutes. Do I live in a rough neighborhood? Not, no. No, I wouldn't say it's not a rough neighborhood. It can have a little problems. I've heard, seen some kind of I'll say stuff with I want to stop saying things that are unusual get your attention, or car break-ins. My car's been broken into and destroyed. So it depends what you mean, but it's not. I wouldn't say that. Lots of families live here, lots of regular people, pretty quiet place. There are definitely things you have to do to just be a little cautious, but the vast, like, everybody I've seen, almost everyone, is just regular person going about their day. It can't be if you're like, it can be, I guess, a little rough if you're just really not cautious. Like, somebody had their bike locked up outside for several days. And it was a nice bike. I'm like, damn, they keep leaving it out here. And sure enough, a day or two ago, I'm walking down the street. I see the bike lock on the ground, and the cable for it has been cut in half. I'm like, oh, what a bummer. Somebody's bike got stolen. Somebody cut the thing on it, the cable. I'm like, I don't know if someone abandoned it or what. Like, why would you leave it locked up on the street for days here? I'd say that was there pretty long before it got stolen. But I felt horrible seeing that. I was like, what a bummer. Somebody got their bike stolen. I feel like all the cyclists should get together and mourn when someone's bike is stolen. Because it's such a meaningful way of getting around compared to a car. But also, bike theft, that kind of is not something that makes a neighborhood rough. What is this for? Why do I have this here? Oh, yeah, Tupperware. So, no, I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely more lively. Like, it's got more personality, more character than my neighborhoods in Virginia I lived in, which means there can be some wild stuff I've seen. I mean, I've seen people having like mental episodes. I don't know if you'd call that rough, but they definitely shouldn't be on the street. They should have humane support. There should be mental health funding. Reagan cut a lot of that, President Reagan, all over the country, and he was governor of California. That imbecilic, racist windbag. It's funny. I asked this guy. I met this Scottish writer. He was a cool guy. I'd like to stay in touch with him. I sort of have, but he doesn't really respond much. I was hanging out with this Scottish writer in D.C., and he's such a fascinating guy. We met at this writers group. Somebody was insulting his writing, being really rude, and I spoke up for him, and I'm like, hey, well, he's trying something, like he, not just writing, but filmmaking. And he was really into James Joyce. And I got to read James Joyce sometime. And he really appreciated that, so we met later. And I was hanging out with him at his house. And we went to this cool cafeteria place in D.C., and I asked him, in Scotland, do you all think America's just a joke since we elected Trump? And he said, Angelo, we thought you all were a joke since Reagan was president. It's a good one. All right, everyone. I got to get moving. It's warm out now. This is really nice. The temperature's rising. I'm not really running late, but I'm going to have to get moving. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Gotta stretch. Support Alex's campaign in the description. Salute the campaign. And stretch too. Just kind of stretch. All right, everybody. Bye.